Seamless Co-op is a great Elden Ring mod made by the developer Luke Huey and his small helper team. They have worked on other online mods in previous Souls games. These include PvP Watchdog and Blue Sentinel, which are anti-cheat mods for Dark Souls 3, Blue Acolyte, which is an anti-cheat and PvP quality of life mod for Dark Souls 2, and they have even helped in Wexdust's development. Seamless Co-op allows co-opers to bypass Elden Ring's usual online restrictions. Things like using the horse, not having to leave after a boss kill, and removing fog barriers from the world. It also removes invasions, not by design, but because it's near impossible to include them considering the mod's changes on the connectivity structure. A lot of players have taken issue with this, believing Seamless Co-op is killing the online activity of the game by making co-opers uninvadable. A few Elden Ring PC players have said that it's impossible to know the impact Seamless Co-op has had on the game's online activity. Well, that is not entirely true. It's possible to make an educated estimation of Seamless Co-op's impact, and that's what I'm here to do today. All following sources will be linked in the description. All data provided is accurate as of the recording of this video, February 2023. First, let's take a look at Elden Ring sales. What we know for sure is that by September 30th, Elden Ring had sold 17.5 million copies worldwide. Those last 3 months, between June and September, we know it sold around 1 million copies. Since then, it has won Game of the Year, had its first sale on every platform, and has even been updated with new content. It's a fair assessment that now, 3 months later, in February 2023, Elden Ring has reached 20 million copies worldwide. No matter how you want to look at it, it's definitely a very close approximation. Now, let's see how those 20 million copies are divided across the platforms. According to GamesIndustry.biz, on March 15th, when Elden Ring had sold 12 million copies, 44% of them were on PC, 40% of them were on PlayStation, and the last 16% on Xbox. This percentage division has almost certainly not changed in any significant way. Using these percentage divisions today, with a worldwide 20 million copies, we get 8.8 million copies for PC, 8 million copies for PlayStation, and 3.2 million copies for Xbox. On Steam's global gameplay stats, we can see that 79% of players have arrived at the round table hold, the easiest achievement. 79% of the 8.8 million who own the game is 6.95 million. So, we have had 6.95 million certain PC Elden Ring players since the game's release. This statistic includes players who play offline, players who go at it solo, players who summon only for bosses, and of course, players who are interested in summoning their friends to beat the game together. This last instance of players is very important for Elden Ring's online activity, as they are the ones significantly more often open for invasions. But these are also the players Seamless Co-op is targeted for. Seamless Co-op released on May 27th, 2022, 3 months after Elden Ring's release, when the game had sold around 14 million copies. Now, on February 2023, it's been uniquely downloaded 695,000 times. This is 10% compared to the PC players who have ever certainly played Elden Ring. How will this percentage look like if we took out the players who haven't played since Seamless Co-op's release? If we took out offline players and solo players and players who summon only for bosses? It's impossible to give a number, but it's certain it will be much higher than 10%. That number will fairly accurately represent the percentage of otherwise online players Seamless Co-op has taken out of the online ecosystem. Despite the fact we can't know the exacts, we can tell it's definitely significant. And remember, this is the situation while Seamless Co-op is still only in beta, not fully released yet. In this last section, I want to talk about a few interesting things that don't really fit with the solidity of the previous argument. Steam has the most active users out of all gaming platforms, with PlayStation a close second. I want to point out that a Steam user has access to any game's online features without extra cost, when PlayStation users need to subscribe to a service called PlayStation Plus to access the same online features. PlayStation Plus subscribers are less than half of PlayStation's active users. Despite this, it has been documented by the player base to no uncertain extent that PlayStation is much more active than PC for Elden Ring. Examples include instances like Twitch streamers switching between platforms and noticing a big difference in downtime between invasions. I cannot think of another culprit besides Seamless Co-op. Is the second most popular mod for a From Software game, only losing to DS Fix for Dark Souls 1 Prepare to Die edition. With the way it is gaining numbers, it will be number 1 in a couple of months. On October 13th, when Seamless Co-op didn't work for one day because of the implementation of a new patch by From Software, the developer gained 83 new donations when he updated the mod to work again, all in a single day. And don't forget that Seamless Co-op is still in beta. When the mod gets a full release, the traction it gets will be increased. The Steam community moderator, responsible for providing updates for Elden Ring, has been publicly supportive of Seamless Co-op. I think the last time an official Souls figure like that has publicly recommended a mod was for DS Fix back in 2012 when Dark Souls 1 Prepare to Die edition released extremely broken on PC. In his public review of the game, he suggests using Seamless Co-op for anyone interested in co-op, and even repeats the PvE absolutist talking point that balance patches negatively affect the PvE experience. Elden Ring on PC has online issues not present on consoles. Crashes when about to connect with another player, and generally higher latency with others. Thankfully, the random disconnect issues seem to have been solved. The reason for the higher latency is that PC is a platform more commonly used by players from all around the world, when PlayStation is less divided. The cross-region matchmaking option only works for Japan. If you are in EU or NA, you're more likely to connect with people from your region on PlayStation. These issues are exacerbated by Seamless Co-op because it further increases downtime and makes it more likely to invade players who are not organically playing through the game. This all makes the quality of the online experience worse on PC. Finally, there is one way to alleviate Seamless Co-op's impact on online activity. Since it's not possible to use From Software server, then the mod's devs need to set up a matchmaking server similar to OpenServer for Dark Souls 3, and also build an anti-cheat and protections for the people using it. There is no way to unify the player base again, but at least this way, players can choose that if vanilla Elden Ring is too inactive, they can try invading in Seamless Co-op, and vice versa. If this solution isn't possible yet, then the devs need to make Seamless Co-op updates a requirement for the mod to keep working, so that when the solution is possible and ready to be implemented, players cannot just avoid updating and keep on playing without invasions. This is likely asking too much, but in any case, that is all I can think of and all I can say right now.